This is universe thinking. Yeah, I feel on a roll today. This is my second video. And this one is one of the most important, I think, for now, that I recorded. This is dedicated for all the anonymous, all the beautiful beings of Anonymous project. This is a project of the heart. This is a project of freedom. This is a project of truth. Not knowingly or knowingly, you are part of it. So today's title is Anonymous, are you one of us? I'll maybe tell you a secret. We are a very secretive organization. We don't disclose who we are. We just are. What do you think? Is it Julian Assange part of the Anonymous? Is it Gandhi part of the Anonymous? Archangel Michael part of the Anonymous? JFK? Putin? Obama? Pope Francis?
Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. But what of the man? I know his name was Guy Fawkes, and I know in 1605 he attempted to blow up the Houses of Parliament. But who was he really? What was he like? We're told to remember the idea, not the man. Because a man can fail. He can be caught. He can be killed and forgotten. But 400 years later, an idea can still change the world. I've witnessed firsthand the power of ideas. I've seen people kill in the name of them, and die defending them. But you cannot kiss an idea, cannot touch it, or hold it. Ideas do not bleed, they do not feel pain, they do not love. And it is not an idea that I miss. It is a man. A man that made me remember the 5th November. A man that I will never forget.
I can't wait. I really can't wait for you to realize who these beings are. Don't mind all this buzzing. So the secret behind the Anonymous was to actually create an idea which will morph into idealistic way of living without idolizing the actual person who was bringing this idea. That's why Guy Fawkes was the one who's carrying the mask. Another anonymous tip, Brother Wachowski, who did the movie V for Vendetta. I'll put links for you down. Watch it. Rather this than any completely ridiculous soap operas or a new SF scary movie. So having an idea about ideal world is actually worth living. Even better, it's actually worth dying for the idea than live without any idea. Because if you live without any ideas, this is not life. This is a misery. This is suffering. And having idea that you can actually sacrifice your life, in the quotes, physical life, for some very beautiful idealistic action or a goal or aim. This is worth dying for. Because is it worth living just to be surviving until you 60, 70, 80, whatever, 100, you reach 100, you made your life. Why Gandhi was killed? Why Martin Luther King was killed? Why JFK was killed? Why Anne Russo was killed? Just because they didn't care. They knew this is worth dying for. The truth, an idea for equality, an idea for unity of all of the beings on the earth. Not separate agenda that we were actually breeded into. This is what Anonymous is. This is an idea.
For God's sake, don't touch it.
Dad, what's wrong with the telly?
Good evening, London. Allow me first to apologize for
That's
this.
the emergency channel.
I do, like many of you, appreciate the comforts of the everyday routine, the security of the familiar, the tranquility of repetition.
Bloody hell.
I enjoy them as much as any bloke. But in the spirit of commemoration,
Who's that, Mum?
whereby those important events of the past, usually associated with someone's death or the end of some awful bloody struggle, are celebrated with a nice holiday, I thought we could mark this November the 5th, a day that is sadly no longer remembered, by taking some time out of our daily lives to sit down and have a little chat. There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak.
Let me think, just let
I
me think.
suspect even now, orders are being shouted into telephones, and men with guns will soon be on their way.
It's Chancellor Sutler.
Damn it!
Why? Because while the truncheon may be used in lieu of conversation, words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country, isn't there?
You designed it, sir. You wanted it foolproof. You told me every television in London.
Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting
Cameras.
your submission.
We need cameras.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others, and they will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the now High Chancellor Adam Sutler. He promised you order, he promised you peace, and all he demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent.
Inspector, you're almost through.
Last night, I sought to end that silence. Last night, I destroyed the Old Bailey to remind this country of what it has forgotten. More than 400 years ago, a great citizen wished to embed the 5th of November forever in our memory. His hope was to remind the world that fairness, justice, and freedom are more than words. They are perspectives. So if you've seen nothing, if the crimes of this government remain unknown to you, then I would suggest that you allow the 5th of November to pass unmarked. But if you see what I see, if you feel as I feel, and if you would seek as I seek, then I ask you to stand beside me 1 year from tonight, outside the gates of Parliament, and together we shall give them a 5th of November that shall never, ever be forgotten.
And if you try to kill idea, you can burn and pillage, cities and countries and people. Idea is still there. Communism as such is a beautiful idea. Socialism as such, on a pure basis, it's a very beautiful idea. How it was twisted through the past, or through the history, let's say, and even now in the present time, it's almost illegal to be part of the communist country. It's the same, like it's semantics, it's technology of infusing the fear into the words. They actually have a very high frequency. Anarchist. The first anonymous was Jesus. The ultimate anarchist was Christ, the Jesus. Okay? Now think what is anarchist means. The one with no ruler above. That's what anarchist is. It's not a chaos, what the new semantics were trying to kind of program you into. I mean, they succeeded very well. I'm anarchist, meaning I have no ruler above me. Do you understand? Not even God. I put God within me. This is where the true ownership of the freedom lays, inside of us. One thing is talking about freedom, and the second, in completely opposite, is actually be totally, absolutely free to do the things what Assange doing, Brother WACHOWSKI is doing, poets, musicians, artists, activists. This is, for me, absolute freedom. It cannot be killed. It cannot be exterminated. Because this is an idea. And we don't assign idea to a person. Because in this case, you can actually, what? You kill the person, JFK was killed, so what? But look what stayed behind. Now you're equal. Now you have a black president in the White House. And 60 years ago, it was illegal to drive in the bus with the whiteys. Do you understand what short period of time we did it as a humanity? We transcended from an ignorant pricks, ignorant, disturbing beings into very, very genuine, one to each other. No matter what color, no matter what opinions that we have. And we can all do it in a very peaceful way. People call me aggressive when I talk. Can you imagine? No, this is a perception of somebody who doesn't want to hear the truth. It sounds very direct, aggressive, and provoking. All right. If you think this is aggressive, what is Afghanistan war? What is bombing the Serbia, the Belgrade? What is this? A pure act of whatever. They'll free somebody from somebody by bombing a country. And they pretend we are not in war.
Fucking hell.
Disgusting and disturbing, because nobody want to talk about this. Nobody. Please let your heart out. Start telling the truth. Don't be afraid anymore. If you have to, put the mask on. I can put right now. Put my mask on and I'll still say the same words. But for me, I don't need a mask. I don't need a mask to tell the truth. Most of the people hiding behind different type of masks just to hide their ignorance, to hide their fears. They are bosses, they are parents, they are responsible citizens, they are patriots. Stupid patriots. They think they're saving somebody by killing others. How dare they do this? To me, the patriot is the one actually who seeks the freedom for all, every single one of us. That's a true patriot. Again, go back to Jesus' time. Same thing. But it was twisted. It's all in semantics. It's like dark magic on the words. Get it out. Okay, get it out. Get your truth out. Otherwise, the universe come after you. It'll bite you for the ass just like this.